Hello. Welcome back to another episode on Exclusive Diaries. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and leave a like. Let's get into the story now. Caught my girlfriend of 4 years cheating on me last night. Need advice on how to proceed. We've been together for almost 4 years. I've never clicked with someone like I clicked with her. We said our I love yous on the second day we spent together. The first 2 years were the 2 most incredible years of my life. Despite being in neighboring states, we spent as much time together as possible, whether it be via Skype or text, and on the weekends we met up. She was everything I could have ever asked for in a partner, and I thought she was the one. The first 2 years she would always bring up marriage and kids, and things like that. But I was in school at the time, and the long distance combined with school and work started to put a serious strain on me, and I knew it'd put a strain on our relationship soon enough. So I decided she was the most important thing in my life and prioritized her. Yes, this is all very foolish in retrospect, and dropped out of school to move in with her because she had a very high-paying, stable career. Jobs for me were hard to come by, so I took a massive pay cut and worked a very dehumanizing job. It paid the bills, but that was it. I never once asked her to support me, and always made sure to pay my fair share. In the meantime, I worked my ass off trying to better myself through online courses and certifications so I could land a job in a field I had originally wanted. I was depressed and unhappy, but I never showed it, never blamed her for any of it, tried my best to make her happy. The first year after moving in together was okay, some good times, some okay times. It was clear then our relationship wasn't what it used to be, but I chalked that up to a settling in and the honeymoon phase ending. This is also when she started really vocalizing out of nowhere how much she did not want to have kids, even though I never brought it up, and in fact I still don't want to have kids. Then out of the blue she started hinting about how she's perfectly content not getting married too. That should have been a red flag, but again I ignored it. During this time I came close to landing a dream job quite a few times, but always came up just short, and each time I could sense her respect for me dwindling. I told myself to stop being irrational and paranoid, and again ignored something that should have been a red flag. That brings us to our last year together. When we first started dating we had sex pretty much all the time, like as soon as we walked into our apartments. We both have high sex drives, and it was amazing. This past year we had sex a grand total of 3 times. And each time it was her doing me a favor after I had basically begged her. Every time I asked, the response was I don't feel sexy, when it should have been I don't find you attractive, I don't respect you, and I only keep you around to pay half my rent till someone better comes along. But I respected her wishes, obviously, and stayed with her because I loved her too much. During this time my relationships with all my friends deteriorated, mostly because I was struggling to work, self-teach, and maintain my relationship with her. Plus I was in a different state from my close friends, and didn't feel like making new ones. For the past couple of months I had suspected something was really off about her. She started going to the gym and lost a bunch of weight and became a very different person both physically and personality-wise. She became incredibly cold towards me, stopped doing all the routines we used to have. She was always very needy and clingy, but all of that stopped. Whenever she would show me some affection it'd just seem so incredibly forced. I tried talking to her about it many times, and she'd assure that everything was fine. So I'd go back to telling myself I was imagining all of it, that I had read too many threads on Reddit from the guy's point of view, etc. Every second I spent with her at this point was agony, and I felt incredibly lonely. I wanted to end things then, but didn't know how, and didn't do it for fear of it actually being all in my head. I basically was looking for hard evidence at this point. Then at the end of last month she told me she's going on a trip to Atlanta with her friends. In the time we've been together she has never gone on a trip with anyone save for me. She never even hangs out with her girlfriends outside of work. I knew that was it, so I didn't stop her. I acted supportive and continued to try and focus on myself. When she returned, that's when the real suspicions began. We've always been very open with our cell phones and computers around each other. We both know each other's passwords, etc. She'd always leave her phone laying around the house, and I'd sometimes use it to take pics of our cats and whatnot. But after she came back, her phone was with her 24/7. Not only that, but she was constantly texting. I still didn't act. She even went in for minor surgery one day, and I had her phone with me the entire time, but I decided against checking it. I should have. She started making constant bathroom visits that'd last more than 30 to 40 minutes. Now I realized I should have checked her phone and was just looking for an opportunity. Then last Thursday, out of the blue, she tells me she has to go visit her parents upstate, 1-hour drive, and spend the night because her dad is going in for surgery. Believable, but my paranoia was on high alert and I was scrutinizing her every move and word. So she leaves for work on Friday. She was supposed to go to her parents straight from work after, and I check her computer. One of the tabs has a Google Maps direction to a neighboring city from her workplace, definitely not where her parents live. By the way, she spent the night before being very affectionate with me. She slept the entire night in my arms, something she's been repulsed by for a long time. I don't know if she was guilty or trying to put my mind at ease, but that got my attention as well. I don't get any texts from her all Friday. I go into work Friday night, I work nights, and still no texts. This is when she's fucking the guy. Also BTW, the day before she bought some really sexy lingerie, showed them off to me, and then chose to wear the most revealing one to go meet this guy. She texts me Saturday morning and tells me she's coming home now. It takes her 4 hours to get home. It's a 1-hour drive from her parents, most likely had another morning session with the guy. She gives me a ride to work when she gets home and I see cash in her car. She never keeps cash in her car like that unless she has to pay tolls. Her parents' house doesn't involve tolls, but the Google Maps destination involved tolls, I remembered. I go to work Saturday night and she goes out with one of her girlfriends to a bar at like 10 p.m. She's in bed by 9 most nights, and she never hangs out with her friends outside of work. She doesn't get home till 2 a.m. I was on the verge of texting her and asking her if she was spending the night with someone, but just as I was about to, she called me and came home. Sunday she goes into work. She works a part-time job as well. After she gets home, we go get some dinner and relax in bed for the rest of the evening. She spends the whole time sexting really, on her phone while she's laying right next to me, but tilting the phone away from her so I wouldn't notice what she's typing. It's incredible how stupid she thought I was. Every time she'd put the phone down, it'd be face down. She goes to take a shower and takes the phone with her. I have at this point decided I'm checking her phone tonight, even if I have to snatch it out of her hands and run to the bathroom. I wait for her to fall asleep. Tell my final mental goodbyes to girl I used to know and this life I've built with her. I take her phone and sneak to the bathroom. I check her text conversations. None of them seem out of the ordinary. Only guy there is her dad. I turn off the phone and am about to put it back when something in my head made me turn back and check it again. The top conversation is from one of her girlfriends I know. I open it. It's not her girlfriend, just her name that she was using to hide this dude. I see all the texts, everything they did Friday. How much she likes him, how much she wants him, etc. I've never felt so defeated and miserable in my life. I didn't think I would be, but seeing those texts were something else. I stormed out of the room and woke her up. She came clean and admitted to the guy but didn't admit to anything else. I can't really believe anything she says anymore. She wasn't even upset, just mildly annoyed. Blamed our faulty relationship on me. I told her I was going to propose to her this Christmas. And that made her even angrier. She told me she had made it very clear she didn't want to get married. I know that's another lie. She does want to get married and have kids, just not with me. I haven't spoken to her today. I don't really know what else to say, if there's even anything else to say. I'm currently in the process of packing and moving back to the other state where I used to live. But I'm a complete mess right now. I've had breakups from long-term relationships before. I've had SOs cheat on me before, but it never felt anything like this. It physically hurts thinking about her and this other guy. It hurts thinking about the girl I used to know is gone. She's a complete stranger now. Looks, attitude, even her voice is different when she talks to me. I want to hate her, but I can't. That makes me even more miserable. I thought about dating other women, but none of that appeals to me right now. All I want to do is go back in time to the way we were. If anyone made it this far, thank you. Typing all of this out really helped. If you have any advice, it'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching.